The Town Mouse and the Country Mouse, retold and illustrated by Helen Craig. Once upon a time, deep in the hedgerow, there lived a country mouse called Charlie. One afternoon, he was sitting at his window listening to a blackbird singing while the sun warmed the fur on his back when there was a knock at the door. It was his cousin Tyler the town mouse. "Hi there, Charlie. I've come to visit," said Tyler, marching in and flopping down in Charlie's best armchair. "I'm exhausted. What a trip. Anything to eat?" Charlie got him a bowl of nuts and marigold seeds topped with some red hawthorn berries that he had been saving for a special treat. But Tyler wrinkled his nose. "Boring," he said. "Still, I suppose it's good for you." When he had finished eating, he leaned back. "Now, Charlie, is there anything going on around here in the evenings?" Charlie smiled. "Yes, there is. I'll take you to see something wonderful." That evening, they climbed the hill behind Charlie's house. The sun was just going down and all the birds were singing their best songs. They waited while the sky filled with brilliant colors. "There," whispered Charlie. "Where?" said Tyler. "The sunset," said Charlie. "Isn't it beautiful?" Tyler yawned. "Too slow for me. I like a little action." And he took off down the hill. That night, Tyler couldn't sleep. The countryside was just too dark and quiet. The next morning, when he saw that breakfast was nuts, seeds, and berries again, he decided enough was enough. "Sorry, Charlie," he said. "Country life is not for me. I need the bright lights of the town, but why not come back with me and see how exciting life can be?" Charlie had never been farther than the top of the hill, but he said bravely, "All right, I will. Just let me pack a few things and lock up the house." And they set off. "Now, how about a lift?" said Tyler, looking around. "Aha! Just the thing." "Going to town?" said a carrier pigeon. "It's a long way. Like a ride?" As they soared high into the air, Charlie watched his hedgerow get smaller and smaller until it disappeared. He felt very lost. At last, the carrier pigeon set them down in the town marketplace. Charlie stood rooted to the spot. There were so many people. There was so much noise. "Come on, Charlie," hissed Tyler, dragging him into the safety of the shadows. "It's dangerous here. Stick close and follow me." They scuttled off along a gutter, across a sidewalk, up an iron staircase, over rooftops, down a chimney, and through a window. At the end of a musty passage, bright light streamed from a small hole. "In we go," whispered Tyler, and he squeezed through. Charlie followed. "Ah!" A giant cat with fierce eyes and huge sharp teeth was waiting to pounce on them. "Help!" squealed Charlie. He swayed and fell, but Tyler caught him by the tail. He was laughing. "Don't be silly, Charlie. We're in a theater. It's only a movie." Poor Charlie peeped through his paws. The giant cat was now chasing a giant mouse. It was all very strange. The movie ended and they set off again through the dark streets. On the way, Charlie nearly got squashed, gassed, drowned in a sea of paper, and knocked out by a runaway pineapple. "You must be more careful," said Tyler, picking him up for the fourth time. Charlie was very glad when they reached the steps of the big house where Tyler lived. "I bet you're hungry," said Tyler, leading the way to the dining room. "Let's see what's left." And he dashed around the table looking for the best food. "Have some sardines and chocolate mousse," he said. "How about shrimp in mayonnaise or prunes and pudding?" He offered Charlie sausages, ice cream, and a piece of fatty bacon. "Have a drink," he called, knocking over a wine glass. Charlie didn't like any of it much. He was beginning to feel very sick and dizzy. Suddenly, there was a horrible noise. A fat cat landed on the table. Tyler vanished. The cat sprang. Charlie jumped. The cat chased him around and around and up and down, until Charlie dived under a sofa and scuttled up into one of the springs. The cat could smell Charlie. Charlie could smell the cat. The cat watched the sofa for a long, long time. Charlie waited, trembling. He thought his end had come and he would never see his comfortable home in the hedgerow again. At last he heard the cat being shooed out, and almost at once Tyler appeared. "Sorry, Charlie. Forgot to tell you where the mouse hole was. Are you all right? You look a little odd." And he led Charlie through a hole under the sideboard and put him to bed. Charlie had nightmares all night. Very early in the morning, Charlie woke Tyler and said, "I'm sorry. Town life is just too much for me. I think I'd better go home." So Tyler took him back to the marketplace and put him on a milk van that was going to the farm near the hedgerow. Charlie was so pleased to be home again. He ate a large dish of red hawthorn berries while the blackbird sang and the sun warmed the fur on his back. That night, Tyler put on his top hat, white tie, and tails and went across town for some fun at the theater. He was very happy. Under the same night sky, Charlie lay on his hill. He had watched the sun set, and now he was counting the stars. He was very happy too. Hi! If you like this video, please give this a like and hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon to get notified whenever I release a new video.